Gyökeres chooses Arsenal. I mean, look, shocked if we didn't get Gyökeres, but I also said 70%. I think there's a lot to break down here, but I think the most important update is this one. And remember, this is the guy who has been telling us that Man United have been on the phone to Sporting last week, last weekend, all week. We've been chasing this deal, according to Fabrizio Romano, and this is the update from Fabrizio in the last half an hour. Gyökeres' priority is Arsenal. Despite calls from Manchester United, his priority is Arsenal. Gyökeres always an option, and Sesko talks with no deal so far. Arsenal are assessing both situations. United remain keen, but believe deal is now unlikely. So it's well, look, there's a few other bits to get into. There's a big story coming out about Ekitike, but Ekitike is more expensive than Sesko and Gyökeres. I feel like you just never know in a transfer window. You just never know. Even Ben Jacobs has left the door open, saying that Gyökeres is open to Man United, but you know he's open to a move to Arsenal as well. But you go back to what Barada said. We only want players that want to play for Manchester United, and this is my exact point. That arrogance is not going to get you anywhere. We need the best players. We don't need players. We can't ignore players that maybe want to go somewhere else. I think that, look, it's not over yet, but if Gyökeres signs for Arsenal, I sort of feel like, what are we doing? I think the thing that many people, I was looking on social media when I was changing the thumbnail and everything, and I'm looking at the live chat more importantly, and look, get me your thoughts in. I think the big question here is, what's the plan with the striker? People are going to start panicking about Mbeumo. I wouldn't panic about that. But then again, maybe I would. No, I wouldn't. We got Cunha done. But with the striker situation, I sort of am a bit confused. We went for Delap, we didn't get Delap. Then we've gone for Gyökeres, and it makes people think, oh, we've got a chance of Gyökeres. And ultimately, 3 or 4 weeks ago, most of us were saying Gyökeres is going to go to Arsenal. And then suddenly we don't get Delap, and it's almost like we're knocking on the door saying, do you want to come? Do you want to come? And he's going, no, I want to go to Arsenal. If Arsenal drop out, I'll talk to you, but I want to go to Arsenal. And it feels like we've sort of knocking on doors a little bit desperately. I don't know. Because I'm very surprised based on, look, I'll tell you what I saw on Sunday, but I'm very surprised anyway that it sort of contradicts. Well, it was an opinion piece this morning when I said that my feeling is that United are going for players where the player has said yes to us and then negotiate with the club. It's very, very clear from this that we've not been told yes by Gyökeres, have we? We clearly haven't. If he's like saying, look, back off, I want Arsenal. I'll speak to you if Arsenal say no. I don't even know if I want him anymore. You know? I do, but it makes me so angry where we are as a football club. I immediately started thinking about last season, the Europa League final, and how bad we are as a football club, that we're now hoping Arsenal choose Sesko so he maybe chooses us. We can't do the deal. We can't do the deal, can we? We literally can't do the deal now. Like, we're sloppy seconds. We can't. Arsenal fans will just laugh at us. We can't do this deal now. We can't. We can't do it. Let's be logical. We can't do this deal. If he wants Arsenal, we can't do the deal. And clearly that's what he does. So you just question what United have been doing for 2 weeks. Have we just spiralled out of control because we didn't get Delap? Look, when you follow the credibility, we wanted Delap. He was our number one priority. He went to Chelsea. We've now gone to Gyökeres, who has said, I want Arsenal. So that's 2 down. Where do we go next? Where do we go next? Ekitike at 100 million euros. We'll talk about that next. But you know what? The truth will come out in the fullness of time. But it feels like we didn't get Delap, and we've desperately moved to Gyökeres, and he said, no, I still want Arsenal. So we're sort of desperately flapping around. But we're in a... Look, this is something we've got to be very wary of. We're not in a position of strength. We're really not. We're Manchester United, but we're not in a position of strength. We're desperate. We're desperately trying to rebuild this football club. and you need to try and get players. And I'm not going to criticise the club for knocking on the door of Gyökeres and Sporting, but it feels a little bit like we've knocked on the door and not really, thought it through. But it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing because you do wonder where we're going to go next. Wasting my career. Look at the last 3 years with Arsenal. Stability, good footballing side. They'll be better with me in it. It's the better project. Of course it's the better project. 100% it's the better project. Obviously, we can't sell him the project. Obviously, the Amorim thing is not as big as some people were saying it was, because that's what was being said. Amorim is the pull. Amorim and him. Amorim made him. Manchester United's a massive football club. Obviously, the Arsenal project is better. And it's annoying, but it's right. I can't argue with it. It's correct. The football club, Manchester United Football Club, is a bloody mess. He's 27. You can understand that. But yeah, it's massively disappointing. Just in relation to a couple of other people, it's not just Fabrizio. I mean, take Fabrizio.
Victor Gyokeres is determined to force through a move to the Premier League this summer. Arsenal and Manchester United have both held talks with Gyokeres. So it seems to be that Gyokeres will be coming to the Premier League. It feels like it's a toss-up between Manchester United and Arsenal. Now, in their current iterations, if you're a player and you have the opportunity of playing for Manchester United or Arsenal, whilst I totally understand the magnificence of Manchester United, it can only be Arsenal.
It's Arsenal.
It's Arsenal.
It's Arsenal. They're in the better position. They're in the better position going forward in the next few years. Of course, Manchester United are on a rebuild that seems to have lasted an eternity at the moment. 100% it's Arsenal. Is that a gamble for you?
It is a gamble. It is a gamble. Look, it's a gamble that they have to take.
That they need?
Potentially. I mean, his goal record is brilliant. Do you know what I've just thought? If he does choose Arsenal, he's almost given a V sign to the Manchester United manager who he has a pre-existing relationship with. That's quite... Like, if you look at Mbeumo...
There's no loyalty in football, Rory.
Well, Mbeumo is doing everything he can to follow Frank to Tottenham.
Yeah.
And it feels like Victor Gyokeres doing everything he can to avoid linking up with...
It's Champions League football, though. That's the draw. I think Mbeumo, that will be the draw for Spurs. It's not 17th position in the league. It's Champions League football. And it's Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
And the same with Gyokeres. It's Champions League football. It's who can I go... Everyone knows I'm a number 9 that can score goals. Everyone knows Arsenal need that number 9 that can score goals. Am I confident enough to go and take them to the title? If he feels he is, he's got unbelievable goal scoring record. 39 goals last season.
A lot.
For Sporting in 33.